Good morning, everybody. I welcome you all back, and today I am doing that part 3, that is somaclone variations. As these are all interlinked, first we did the nutrient medium, then somatic hemorrhagenesis, and then somaclone variations. So these are linked. I just tell you how. Basically, when we do culturing, first we make media. I already told you, which consisting of macronutrients, micronutrients, and then vitamins. Macronutrients, we have a very easy way to remember that macronutrients, that is 170, 370, 540 total, but it is 440 jor ka jhatka, 1650 and 1900. And these are the macro, that is potassium, ammonium, then we have calcium chloride, magnesium sulfate, and potassium dihydrogenate. Then micro, like same, cobalt and copper, there is 0.025, then 0.25, then potassium iodide 0.83, then we come to the point will come 8.3, that is 8.6, and ultimately we did the all boric acid micronutrients. So the first we take tube and we put the most accepted medium, MS, and if we want to raise virus free plants, we put shoot meristem, which is we did last lecture, Morel 1960 in the orchids, shoot meristem or apical meristem to get the virus free plants in same medium. So second, then we have two process somatic embryogenesis, that is direct somatic embryogenesis. Here the somatic embryos are formed directly without the punctuation of callus phase, and then plantlet, that is 2 to 3 leaves and 1 to 2 roots, and these plantlets raised are homozygous pure line, and this is cell line, and there are no somaclone variations. Where other is the indirect, where it is followed by the callus in between, and callus is basically unorganized mass of cells, and this callus basically cause the somaclone variations, because callus there is a dissolution of spindle formation, and it results in the chimerias formation, and that is somaclones, which are called somaclone variations. So as I said, first lecture we did the medium, second lecture we did the somatic embryogenesis. Now we are doing the somaclone variations. So what are the somaclone variations? That is our today's topic. The somaclone variations is defined as genetic variations which are developed among somatic cells regenerated plants during repeated subculturing, right? So tissue culture. What is tissue culture? I already told in first lecture. Culturing of tissue under in vitro conditions or aseptic condition is called tissue culture, and it is an efficient method of clonal propagation, because it is a very quick multiplication we can get through the tissue culture. And last lecture I told you, in 8 cycle we will get 1 lakh plant, whereas in case of nature we take 8 years approximately. However, prolonged culturing generating mutations, and it results in epigenetic changes called somaclone variations, that is somaclones. Somaclone variations are first reported in sugarcane, and the somaclone variations, very important, coined by Larskin and Scowcroft in 1931. This somaclone variation is an alternative method to create phenotypic variations and expand the germplasm pool. Somaclone variations are more dependent on type of explant. Suppose that we use the highly differentiated tissues like leaves, roots, stem, floral parts, they are more prone to the somaclone variations. So I already told you, when we use these explants, we have two pathways, that is direct and indirect. So in indirect, there are more chances of getting the somaclone variations, right? Then the undifferentiated pre-existing meristems like apical meristem, I already told you, this is shoot meristem, also called the apical meristem, right? So here the chances are less due to the pre-presence of chimera in explants, right? It is necessary to mention that callus is necessary for somaclone variations, as callus phase are more prone to chromosome variability. I already told you, spindle dissolution, as it shows uncontrolled cell division. Hence first preferred choice of tissue culturist is somatic embryogenesis. Last lecture I also told you, tissue culturists prefer this path. They never prefer the other path, that is indirect, where the callus is formed, because that result in the heterozygosity, that is not pure line is obtained, and that is the defeat of the tissue culturist. So now the basis of somoclonal variations are developed due to exposure to the sterilizing agent. So this we do sterilization, we take 3 steps, that is streptomycin, then sodium hypochlorite and ethanol, whereas in case of seeds we use 2 steps, that is mercury chloride and streptomycin. So in both the high concentration of these exposure to sterilization results in the somoclonal variation. Besides that, plant growth regulators, I already told you, like auxin, 2,4-D, 2,4-dichlorophenoxyactic acid, cytokinin, which bioassay is cell division, and number of culture cycle, that is repeated culturing, and its duration. It is interesting to note that culture conditions, duration of cell cultures, and subsequently culturing results in oxidative stress. This is very important, which is the main cause of somoclonal variations. Cytokinins increase rate of cell divisions in explants and induce mutations, where 2,4-D is associated with genetic variations such as polyploidy and endo-reduplication. Hence 2,4-D will induce callus formation. It is very easy to put 2,4-D and get the callus, but I already told you getting callus is the defeat of a tissue culturist, because then somoclonal variation are supposed to come. So we have to avoid callus formation. In spite, if we are going for the somoclones, then we can use, otherwise don't. So now we are coming to the mechanism of variations. So mechanism of variations is the first is the variation. It pre-exists in somatic cells. The somatic cells which we are inoculating, I already told you the differentiated one, they have variations already because they have polyploid cells, whereas the undifferentiated one like apical meristem, they don't have. So now we will do in detail. It is important variable. Somoclonal variation in tissue culture may be result of pre-existing genetic variations which are present in the somatic cells which are cultured. Polysomaty, a variable chromosome number in different cells of particular tissue in mother plant may cause somoclonal variations. Besides this, the polyploidy level changes with age. Diploid and polyploid cells exist in equal percentage 5 cm below apical meristem, right? If we are doing apical meristem culture, there are also chances of the polyploid cells. So if we take apical meristem here, so up to 5 cm is okay. When we go just below 5 cm, we will have 50% chances of polyploid cells, right? While more than 85% are polyploid 20 cm below. So it is preferable to use the shoot apical meristem from the tip, that is up to the 5 cm, no, 2.5 cm, because after that the chances of polyploid will increase till that 20 cm, where it is 85% are polyploids. When we culture, we will definitely get the somoclonal variation because cells they have are polyploids. The apical meristem in mature cells undergo chronological changes, which I told you through endo-reduplication. Chromosome at interface undergoes extra duplication and bound to behave differently in nature. So we are supposed to get the diploid, tetraploid or polyploid cells, and then somoclonal variations are there, right? So next is the variability generated due to the effects of culture process. Variability is generated due to the effects of culture process, namely duration of culture, rate of plant growth regulators, and nutritional stress. Duration of culture, that is age of any culture frequency or subculturing, may disturb normal plant regeneration. So long-term Calli cultures, except in few cases, exhibit heterozygosity, because when we do subculturing, the mutation are supposed to occur and it results in the somoclonal variations because of the oxidative stress and other stress factors of PGRs present in it, right? And also the sterilization you have given while sterilizing the explant. PGRs, particularly auxin 2,4-D cytokinins, are instrumental in bringing about karyotype alteration in cultured cells, right? Cytokines exhibit high rate of cell division in cultured explants and induce mutation, whereas 2,4-D, I already told you, is considered to be responsible for the various genetic abnormalities that is due to endo-reduplication, such as aneuploidy, polyploidy and endo-reduplication. As I already just told you, that is chromosome at the interface undergoes extra duplication. Besides these, culture medium, that is level of potassium nitrate, chelating agents and some microsalts have property to destabilize the normal genetic makeup, and whereas sometimes tissue culture has just fascination for the undefined substance like coconut milk, yeast extract, tomato extract, a lot of unlaced. So we use, it may induce basically the somoclonal variations, right? So these somoclonal variations, I already told you, we use the shoot meristem, but repeated cultures result should be avoided because it results in the endo-reduplication and polyploids will or diploids will come. Whereas use of 2,4-D should be avoided. A plant tissue culture should not use 2,4-D because it is easy to get callus from 2,4-D, but it will create the somoclonal variations. So if this happens, you don't have any choice. You have to use 2,4-D, then you have to do the cytology. So cytological studies to be performed to check the cytological stability of the plant, whether there are somoclonal variations are there or not. Now the most somoclonal variations is a blessing in disguise. There are 2% of somoclone, they are important, basically economically important species. They are important to plant and improvement, right, in agriculture also, right. So improvement in agriculture, that is against the diseases. So first I already explained you, the first we use somoclonal variation in the sugarcane. Sugarcane, the botanical name is Saccharum officinarum, and the explants use are all explants, leaf, root, protoplast, embryo. And the somoclonal variations we have the somoclones which are produced, which they are resistant to the Fiji disease, downy mildew and smut disease. They cause devastating effect on the sugarcane crops. There is Ono, a somoclonal variant of sugarcane resistant to the eye spot and Fiji disease. So this is the one best example of that is Ono. And the second is the we have the potato, that is Solanum tuberosum, and the potato, the explant used are leaf, callus and protoplast, and it shows resistance to the late and early blight. Early blight, we know that it is caused by the Alternaria solanae, whereas late blight caused by the Phytophthora infestans, and late blight is very devastating and it also causes a famine. So these both are very dangerous disease, and this clone is resistant to these early and late blight. Then shape of leaf, flower, tuber and yield. These are different in case of somoclones. Main the last factor, that is yield. So we are concerned with this, and there are two somoclones, that is IBP10 and IBP27 and IBP30, which are resistant to the early blight as the Alternaria solanae and which cause scab of potato, that is Streptomyces scabis. This is also very important disease which cause lot of damage to the potato crop. Now the third we are coming to the is the tomato, Lycopersicum esculentum, and the explant uses leaf, and it is resistant to Pseudomonas solanacearum and wilt disease. Wilt disease is very important. It is caused by the Fusarium, where the tyloses are formed in these xylem vessels, and it results in the wilting and plant will die. So then the next is the main crop, it is the of or, that is wheat, Triticum aestivum, and the explants used are immature embryo and anther. And the somoclones which are raised, they have the plant height, awns. Awns are very important. As I told you, awns, we have one variety in earlier in India, that is called NP799. So this is very important variety, but it is not awned variety. And what will happen, it will have lot of damages because all the birds or they take the grains, around 40% damage. Then we have the father of that is Swaminathanji, MS Swaminathanji. They just throw the gamma rays and it comes to the NP variety called 836. And this NP 836, it is called, nothing changed from 799 to 836. It is awned variety. Bas. and when on, then bird want to sit, it will purse it, prick it, and the bird will fly. So it will save it from the damage. 40% damages we are getting. So then is the tiller number is increasing, maturity is early, and grain color, and alpha amylase. So alpha amylase is a very important layer, which is a source of proteins we have. We provides the protein. And then we have the Hezu number 8 variant of wheat, which is having a high yield. Here I want to tell you one color. Color is also a problem. Then we have a color problem earlier also, that is Sharbati Sonara and Sonara 64, where we have the red color, and people which are mischievous, they said for Americans or from Mexico, that wheat comes which is eaten by the horses there. So, but our father again, Swaminathanji put gamma rays on it, and it changed into the from red color to the amber color, which is right now. So, color also plays a very important role in India, because there are a lot of different peoples of different background, and that creates very nonsense. So, now we are coming to the next variety, maize. The explant used is immature embryo, and it is resistant to Helminthosporium maydis, that is brown spot of rice it also calls, but here it is a brown spot of maize. And in case of rice it is oryzae. Plant height, node number, year arrangement, and maturity. And there is Zidans number 6 of maize with improved grain variety, and it is a very important somoclone which is produced, which having a grain quality excellent. And this maize is basically not taken by the humans, they are also taken by the hen, and we are dependent upon that food indirectly also, because hen provides a lot of things. Eggs it provides as a source, a rich source of protein. Then we have come to the Brassica species, that is anthers, embryos that is taken, and this flowering time, growth habit, and wax. Wax will come, and wax is a very important part. It protects plant from the injuries, and that increases. And the last we coming to the rice, that is Oryza sativa, and the parts are callus, anther, that is microspores. Anthers and microspores are the next topic I will take. After that I will take the apoptosis and molecular biology, and then I move to the again to the anthers and pollen culture, because I already told you these are the two topics which play important role in UGC, and I am blending it soon. And when I stop the anther culture, that is the last topic which to be included in the July 26 4th series of our online botany test series. And please mind it, from 4th series we start just having a computation of your number to get first 5 in each category, UG and PG, and they are given the commendation certificate, and whereas the top one will given the award, right, from the college. And that plays important role when you get the job. You are supposed to appear for the interview for the job and other purposes also. Now we have here the plant height, panicle length which has grains, tiller number. If tiller number is increased, the grains also increase. Leaf length increases, then we have the more photosynthesis and more food is formed, more grains are formed. And Dama rice variety shows resistant to the Pericularia ricea, which I told you. Blast of rice, very important disease, and blast of rice which is caused by Pericularia ricea. And here we have specks like spots we did. Please go revert back to the disease part and do these disease, that is brown spot of rice and blast of rice, the very important diseases. So this I finishes the somoclone variations, and somoclone variations if you want to know, so we should avoid the two things, that is 2,4-D should not be used, repeated subculturing should be avoided. If not avoided, the cytogenetic studies will be done, and to get the first phase, that is direct somatic embryogenesis, we use shoot meristem. That shoot meristem not below the 5 centimeter, 2 to 2.5 centimeter. After that 50% of cells become diploid till 5 centimeter, and till 20 centimeter 85% is diploid. So that is due to the endo duplication and results in the haploid, not diploids, tetraploids and polyploids. So shoot meristem is the best choice we have, and here the excessive use of PGRs to be avoided, because 2,4-D we know it basically results in the dissolution of spindle and that result in the endoduplication, whereas cytokinins as their bioassay Richmond and Lang effect, that is, they increases the cell division. It also results in the somoclonal variation, which we called a cancer of the plants. So now I just wipe it out and finish it, and I just want to tell you we did the 3 topics. Media is here, then somatic emergency is here, and then because of these use of sterilization agents 2,4-D and subculturing, we get somoclonal variation. These all are interlinked topics. So before I will come back with the anther and pollen culture, you should be ready with this. So if you do these, so it is very easy to understand the anther and culture. So take care and stay indoor, stay safe. Bye bye. Thank you.